Once upon a time, there was a fish named Kenji who swam against the current of the river. The other fish mocked him. "You're crazy. Why struggle so hard when you can just let yourself drift?" Kenji simply replied, "Because dead fish are the only ones that float effortlessly with the current." This simple story contains one of the most powerful truths I've discovered in my years studying Zen philosophy. Following the crowd's current can be the most dangerous path of all. Today I'm going to share with you an extraordinary story that changed the way I see life. And it might change yours too. We live in a peculiar time. We have more information than ever, more choices, more opportunities. And yet, paradoxically, most people live almost identical lives. The same jobs that don't fulfill them. The same routines that drain them. The same dreams they never pursue. Why? Because they follow the current. The story I'm about to tell you comes from ancient Zen texts, but I've witnessed its truth again and again in modern life. It's the story of Master Hakuin and the rebellious young monk. And I warn you, what you're about to hear will challenge many of the beliefs you've probably accepted without question. In a small monastery in the mountains of Japan lived a Zen master named Hakuin. He was known for his unconventional wisdom and teaching methods that puzzled even the most experienced monks. One day, a young man named Takeshi arrived at the monastery. He came from a wealthy family in the city, and his parents had sent him there hoping that monastic discipline would straighten him out. You see, Takeshi had an annoying habit of questioning everything. At school, he questioned his teachers. At home, he questioned family traditions. In society, he questioned why things were done a certain way. His parents were desperate. "This boy is going to drive us crazy," they said. "He can't just accept things as they are. He always has to be different." When Takeshi arrived at the monastery, the other monks immediately noticed something peculiar about him. While everyone woke up at dawn and followed the established routine with military precision, Takeshi asked, "Why do we have to get up at exactly this hour?" While everyone ate in silence, following ancient rules, Takeshi questioned, "Who decided that silence during meals brings us closer to enlightenment?" The senior monks were scandalized. "This young man is disrespectful," they murmured. "He doesn't understand that these traditions exist for good reasons. He must learn to go with the flow of the community." But this is where the story becomes truly interesting, and I want you to pay close attention, because what happened next reveals a secret most people never discover. Master Hakuin observed all of this in silence. And one day, to everyone's surprise, he called a special meeting. All the monks gathered in the main hall, expecting that the master would finally reprimand Takeshi publicly and put him in his place. Hakuin stood up slowly, his face as serene as ever, and said something that left everyone speechless. "Takeshi is the only one among you who has a chance of attaining true enlightenment." The silence was so deep you could hear the wind whispering through the pine trees outside. The monks looked at one another, confused. Some thought the master was joking. Others felt offended. A senior monk who had been at the monastery for 15 years dared to speak. "Master, with all due respect, I don't understand. We follow all the rules. We meditate faithfully. We study the sacred texts. Why do you say that this rebellious young man is the closest to enlightenment?" Hakuin smiled, that mysterious smile Zen masters wear when they're about to reveal a profound truth. "Precisely because of that," he replied. "You follow the rules, yes. But have you ever asked yourselves why you follow them? You meditate faithfully, but do you do it because you truly understand the value of meditation, or simply because it's what's expected of a monk?" The master continued, "Takeshi does not blindly go with the current. He questions. And in sincere questioning, in the genuine search to understand the why behind every action, there is more wisdom than in 1,000 years of mechanical obedience." Now, let me pause the story for a moment to explain something crucial. Something you may be experiencing in your own life right now. Master Hakuin's lesson is not about being rebellious just for the sake of rebellion. It's not about rejecting all tradition or established wisdom simply to go against the grain. That would be just as foolish as following the current without thinking. It's about something much deeper. Living a conscious life instead of an automatic one. Think about it for a moment. How many important decisions in your life have you truly made yourself? And how many have you made simply because it was what you were supposed to do? Did you choose your career because you were truly passionate about it? Or because it's what your parents expected? Or because it paid well? Or because your friends were doing it too? Do you live where you live because you genuinely love that place? Or because it's where it makes sense to live according to social expectations? Are you pursuing the dreams that truly matter to you, or the ones society has told you that you should pursue? This is the current Zen philosophy speaks of. It's not the water of the river. It's the invisible current of social expectations, family pressures, and this is how things are done that carries us along without us even realizing it. And here's something that might make you uncomfortable to hear. Most people live lives that aren't even their own. They live the life others designed for them. Before we continue with the rest of the story, if you're finding value in these Zen teachings, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Every week, I share ancient stories and lessons that can transform the way you see life. Don't just go with the current of consuming content without depth. Join this community of conscious seekers. Now, let's return to Master Hakuin and young Takeshi, because what happened next is even more revealing. After Master Hakuin's declaration, something interesting began to happen in the monastery. The monks started paying closer attention to their own actions. They began asking themselves why they did what they did. But not everyone reacted in the same way. Some monks, especially the senior ones, felt threatened. They had invested years, decades, even faithfully following every rule, every tradition. The idea that they might have been living on autopilot was too disturbing. So they doubled down on following the rules even more rigidly, as if external discipline could make up for a lack of inner understanding. Other monks, particularly the younger ones, went to the opposite extreme. They thought, so enlightenment comes from breaking the rules. And they began rebelling against everything, without discernment. They skipped meditations, questioned just for the sake of questioning, and confused critical thinking with simple cynicism. But Takeshi did something different. One morning, the monks found him meditating at dawn, even earlier than the others. When they asked him why, since he was the one who had questioned the schedule, he replied, "I questioned the schedule to understand its purpose. And in doing so, I discovered that dawn truly is the best time to meditate. Now I do it not because it's a rule, but because I understand its value." Another afternoon, they saw him eating in silence alongside the other monks. "Don't you question silence during meals anymore?" they asked with a hint of mockery. Takeshi smiled. "I questioned it, and in the silence I practiced in order to understand it, I found a peace I had never known. Now I remain silent not because I'm ordered to, but because I've experienced its transformative power." Master Hakuin observed all of this with approval. One day, he gathered all the monks again and said, "Observe Takeshi. He does not blindly follow the current, nor does he blindly reject it. He investigates, he experiments, and then he consciously chooses his path. Sometimes, his path aligns with tradition. Other times, it doesn't. But every step he takes is a conscious step, not a sleepwalking one. The true rebellion," the master continued, "is not going against the current just for the sake of going against it. The true rebellion is waking up from the sleep of unconsciousness. It is taking the reins of your own life and making decisions based on your own understanding, not on fear or convenience." Now, I want you to think about your own life. Because this story is not just a beautiful anecdote from the past. It's a mirror that shows us something about ourselves. In what areas of your life are you following the current without questioning it? Maybe it's in your job. You've been in a position for years that no longer fulfills you, but you stay because it's the sensible thing, because you've already invested so much time, because what will people say if I change now? Or maybe it's in your relationships. You maintain friendships that no longer nourish you, or you remain in situations that drain your energy, simply because that's just how things are, or because you fear change. Or it could be in your daily habits. You wake up, check your phone, complain about traffic, work at something you're not passionate about, come home exhausted, watch TV, and fall asleep. And the next day the same. And the next. And the next. You're alive, yes. But are you really living? Here is the uncomfortable truth that Zen philosophy reveals. Most people are asleep while walking through life. They move from one place to another, from one activity to another, but they are never truly present. They never stop to ask, is this what I really want? Is this who I really am? And time passes. Years pass. And one day they look back and realize they lived someone else's life. The life their parents wanted for them, the life society expected of them, the life that was safe and acceptable. But not their life. Master Hakuin explained it this way. Most people are like leaves floating on a river. They go wherever the current carries them, without choice, without their own direction. And when they finally realize where they are, it is too late to change course. But you who are here, listening to this, seeking wisdom, seeking answers, you don't have to be just another leaf in a river. You can be like Takeshi. You can wake up. Let me tell you the end of Takeshi's story, because it is deeply revealing. Years later, Takeshi became a Zen master in his own right. And when students came to him seeking enlightenment, he would say something that confused them at first. Do not come to me looking for answers. If I give you answers, you will only be following my current instead of society's current. And that is not freedom. That is simply changing cages. Instead, he continued, learn to ask the right questions. Learn to investigate. Learn to experiment. Learn to trust your own direct experience more than any external authority, even me. This is what Zen calls Wu Wei, action without forcing, but also without passively drifting. It is finding your own flow, your own authentic current, not the current of the masses. And do you know what is most beautiful? When you finally find your own current, your own authentic path, you discover something amazing. You are not alone. There are others who have also awakened, who are also swimming in their own direction. And together they create a new current, a current of consciousness, authenticity, and true life. The question is not whether you should follow the current or go against it. The question is, are you awake while you swim? That is all that matters. Not whether your choices are conventional or not. Not whether your life looks like everyone else's or not. But whether every decision you make, every step you take, is a conscious step, chosen by you based on your own understanding and your own truth. So, how do you apply this in your life? Let me give you 3 concrete Zen practices you can start today. First practice: the meditation of questioning. Every night before going to sleep, ask yourself these 3 questions. What did I do today by conscious choice? What did I do today on autopilot? Is there anything in my life that I'm doing only because I'm supposed to do it? You don't need to answer these questions immediately or change everything at once. Just asking them already means you're beginning to wake up. Second practice: the one-day experiment. Choose one day and consciously decide to do one thing differently. It doesn't matter how small it is. Change your route to work. Talk to someone you normally wouldn't talk to. Try something you've always wanted to try but never dared to. The point is not to be different just for the sake of being different. The point is to train your mind to step out of autopilot and make conscious choices. Third practice: the 5 whys rule. When you find yourself doing something important, working at your current job, maintaining a certain relationship, following a particular routine, ask yourself, why? Then ask why to that answer, and do it 5 times. By the 5th why, you'll reach the deeper truth. And that truth will show you whether you're following your own current or someone else's. If this story has touched your heart, if you feel these words reached you at just the right moment, Don't let this be just a passing moment. Subscribe to the channel to receive more Zen stories and teachings every week. Give it a like if you found it valuable. And above all, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Because the truth is, we live in a world where millions of people are asleep, following currents they did not choose. And every time you share wisdom like this, you help someone else wake up. You become part of a new current, the current of consciousness. Remember the final words Master Hakuin spoke to Takeshi, words I now leave with you. I do not ask you to follow my path. I do not ask you to reject every path. I ask only this, that you wake up, that every step you take be your step, that every choice you make be your choice, and that when you reach the end of your life, you can look back and say with certainty, this was my life. I lived it awake. I lived it consciously. I lived it fully. Do not follow the current blindly, but do not reject it blindly either. Simply wake up. Until the next story, dear seeker, may your path be filled with awareness. Namaste.